Ghost Stories is a British anthology horror film that has been in like small screens in America and finally came on demand. So I can finally watch it. I've heard a lot of good things, but getting into it is a decent horror film. But some of the stuff they try to do to bring them all together are kind of goofy.
Everything is exactly as it seems.
You don't know everything.
Wait, I don't like it.
The brain sees what it wants to see.
So this is written and directed by Jeremy Dyson and Andrew Nyman, and mainly stars Andy Nyman and Martin Freeman, as he's one of the characters in one of the short stories, and he also brings in other stuff too. And the idea is that this guy is like this professor is like a debunker. He goes around and debunks ghost stories or like psychics and all of the phenomenon, supernatural things, and he debunks them. And so he's like, one of his idols is sent him a message wanting to meet him, even though he's supposed to be dead. And he goes to meet him, and he gives him 3 cases that he was not able to explain, and that he goes to to hear their stories and try to explain them away. And it's a cool idea for an anthology sort of style film. And it's cool because with the title, it almost becomes like there are these characters telling these ghost stories. And I like what they did with them. Like, especially the first one was really cool because it's like this guy in this like a night watchman in this old building that used to be like a madhouse or something like that. And I like a lot of stuff they did with that. And then there's the next one is more of like a demon story, kind of like. And it's kind of cool what they did with that, but I think it was the actual character and stuff that happening in that character's house in the parts in between the stories was actually more interesting for that one. And then you have, the third one is Martin Freeman, and that's, Poltergeist. And, that one's good too. And, I like some of the stuff they did, but some of the scarier stuff is almost in between the ghost stories. And because you're not quite expecting it. And I wish they'd done more of that. But I think I liked a lot of stuff in the movie, but I think that the reason I really disliked the movie is because of how it all comes together towards the end. And I won't spoil it, but it kind of twists things around and it becomes something else. And I understand what they're going for, but I just find it stupid. It's okay, so what's the point? I don't care. It's they do things to make it something else, and oh, so what's the point then? It's okay, fine. That's stupid. It's annoying. It kind of makes the whole movie kind of goofy to me. But they're supposed to be oh, look at that. Do you see what we did? Oh, and you go back and see maybe hints there'd be. And I don't care. It's stupid. And I think that if you are okay with the twist it takes, I think you could like this movie a lot more. But for me, it really kind of ruined the movie for me. I wish it would have had another ghost story instead of all the shenanigans towards the end. But it kind of ruined the whole idea of the story and the whole idea of the movie. And it kind of sucked then. But I liked the bits of it. There's some jump scares, but there's some scary stuff too, and I like things that they did. And I wish they would have done, each story was a little too short too. I felt like each story could have been a little longer, and then too, they could have cut out all the stuff at the end. And I think it would have been better. But, I understand what they're going for. It kind of disappointed me that, what it did with what it was doing. But, if you like horror stories, I think you could like this. I mean, there's some stuff about it that's pretty good. But I don't know, I give it a 6.5 out of 10. It's okay. It's just, I think if you like the ending, you'll like it a lot more than I did. But thanks for watching. Check out the replays from my head and subscribe to me over there. Thanks.